Hello, Chupirins! And here we are live. And now I'm like, okay, is it gonna go live here? It is. Yay. Here, let's see. Is this better? I think a little bit more. No, did we? Okay, like that. Okay. So, here's to the first day of the challenge, the Blast Off challenge. And let me just open up my notes over here. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me. Because if you cannot hear me, that would suck. Okay, so first day of the challenge is choosing where you're gonna commemorate your challenge. What do I mean by that? I mean by that to choose a place that you have a, it could be your phone, it can be your planner, a journal, something that you have with you regularly, like around, that is easy for you to grab it in moments when you may not feel like you are very connected to the blessings in your life, or the things that you have that you might not feel at the moment are a big deal, but really are a big deal for you. It is what makes you you. It is those things that give you joy or make you proud of, that you have accomplished in your life. But I will talk to you more about what we're going to focus the next few days. Today, I really want to focus around where you're going to write this. And here's why. When we write something down, it reinforces us, or it reinforces it to your brain, right? So it is easier for you to recall it. And I know a lot of people think that if I think about something, oh, I remember, I have great memories. And a lot of people have great memory. But I don't think anyone has it great enough that when they're feeling in a moment when they need it the most, that's when they least remember the things that they need, especially things, like their blessings in their life. Like if you're going through a stressful moment or you're having a rough day, I think very few of us would be like, oh my God, I have all my bills paid. I love my job. No, like you're going through a really rough moment, and it's so easy to let go of what good you have around you. So your brain just automatically focuses, on the negative parts. And this is the part that the reason why I think it's really important for you to write down is also because it creates connections. It like creates connection between different parts of your brain, right? We have parts of the brain that are related to our speech, to our memory, to our walking, but they're all really connected, right? So let's say you've had a traumatic experience, your brain would automatically connect to that traumatic experience. But if you create a new path and you add something to that traumatic experience, something positive, like maybe a lesson that you got out of it, maybe you stood up for yourself and this taught you to speak up, and that for that not to repeat itself. Those things we rarely think about. So that's why it's important to connect, to create these connections so that you can connect to the part of you that's creative. When you live in the survival mode, you cannot live in the creation mode. And I think this is why it's super important to write things down, right? Another reason why this is important, it helps to retain information better. I'm gonna go back to the memory part. A lot of people are like, oh, I have a really good memory. I don't need to write things down. Well, if you were to write it down, you would actually even remember it better. So maybe you don't need to take out your phone as often, or take out your planner, or like the little piece of paper that you wrote it on. Whatever you choose to write it, it just really helps to quickly remember things. So if you read it a few times, and this week we're gonna be doing it like 4 times. Today we're not. Today we're focusing on creating the foundation, and that is where and how you're going to store this information. And then the next few days we're gonna be doing it. So then you're gonna be recalling it for like 4 days. That's a big deal, and that would really reinforce you to reinforce the information in your brain so you can actually remember it. Then the other thing is clarity. So when we write things down, we get clarity. It's kind of like the brain lets go of anything that's extra, unnecessary. Um, Hello, Ramirez. Thank you for joining me. So basically, when our brain has, I don't know if it's millions, but definitely thousands, but I think even millions of thoughts every single day. I don't know the number, but I know it's like a gigantic number of thoughts every single day. By you writing it down, you kind of tell your brain, this is what I want to focus on. This is what's important. And when you do that, it really gives it clarity, and it gives you more energy to do the things that are important, to focus on what you want to do, to learn better, to calm down and relax. Your body will also relax, because obviously the brain and the body are very much connected, and the brain tells the body what to do. And then obviously there's also the automatic part of us that when we live a certain way, the brain stops thinking, so your body just does it. But if you create clarity, then your brain can create a new way of being and seeing things and doing. And that allows for you to think clearer, right? Yep. So when we get clear and we have clarity, we can also have breakthroughs easier. We can focus on those things. Like what we're gonna get out of this challenge this week is probably gonna surprise you. And this challenge is not just for you. This challenge is also for me. I do it every single time. Anytime I do a challenge, I always do it myself. So there's always breakthroughs. And this might seem like simple, but it is a really big deal. Most people don't live by this rule of writing their blessings down. So when they have a hard time, they can go back to them and remind themselves of the blessings that they have, because your brain will just block you. So the reason why we want to write it down is also because once we have these breakthroughs, we want to continue having them as time goes on. It's not like I do it today and then tomorrow I'm done with it. No, you do it today and it's going to continue carrying on for a long time after the challenge is done. And I think that is so beautiful and so special. And that's the reason why you really should be writing things down, because you can always go back, look at it. Because first, the breakthroughs that you have will stay with you. They're not going away. But if you write down the blessings that you have, and then throughout this week, you'll also be writing the breakthroughs that you have, any of that like aha moment, or any of the moments where you might realize something that you need to improve or grow on into your life, because not all breakthroughs are like so beautiful. Some breakthroughs take us to the dark places, to places that we don't want to go, but we need to go there to get to the light. You like it or you don't. That's how healing works. It's not all roses, and this is the reason why I think a lot of people don't do it, because it really takes them to places they don't want to be. It's uncomfortable, but they need to be there so that they can learn more about themselves, so they can build the awareness, so they can heal, so they can become that version of themselves that is super powerful, that is like your essence, the reason why you're here, your purpose, why you're here on this earth. So that's exactly why we're gonna do it. And how we're gonna do it, well, that's really gonna depend on you, because I think for everyone is different. You can, like I said, write it manually with a pen. but that should only happen if that's something that you usually do, like you have a planner, a journal that you keep nearby, and you can always refer back to it, like in in a heartbeat. But I think nowadays most people use their phones, so you should keep it on your phone, so you would type it. And I recommend that you keep it simple, unless you're just inspired to write and write. But if you do that, then make sure you write a few bullet points, like the main things, in just a couple of words. So like maybe you have more than one bullet point, but just a few words about that. I'm somebody who is very deep, so I tend to go into details, and because of that, I tend to sometimes write more than most people would, right? But even when I write a lot, I still make sure either I highlight it, I do something to make sure that things stand out, that if I want to quickly take a look at something, I can read it. I don't need to sit there for 10, 20 minutes and read it, but I can quickly like recall what this is about. And that is very, very important. So, how much you write, that's up to you, really. I think the important part is to just do it and not stress yourself about. Also, don't worry about it being correct or what somebody else might think, or what, what their opinion are, because guess what? Hi, Tambor, somebody else joined. Yay. Yeah, because their opinion really does not matter. The opinion that matters is yours. This is your breakthrough. This is your challenge. This is your healing, stepping into your empowered self. This is you. This is you connecting to joy. This is the blessings blast off, because the goal is to connect to joy, to love, to creation in your life. And no one can dim that light for you. No one. And that's what we're going to do this week. We're stepping into that so you can just be the light that you were born to be. So yeah, that's pretty much about the open challenge. The other thing that I'm doing, and I'm kind of like insecure to share this part, but I am building a small community. It's a free community that you'll find the link in the bio. And my goal is to do this type of work in that little community where people will have breakthroughs the way I did in my life, and for them to completely change their life and live their best life from their essence of who they were born to be, rather than living in survival mode. Obviously, there are moments where you gotta have to survive, but if we live like that 24/7, then most of those things are imposed on us, right? Most of those things are not things that are actually happening to us right now, or things that happened in the past, that keep us believing that we have to continue living that way, when there's other possibilities in the world that are just obscured from where we're sitting at the moment. And yeah, that's what the community is about. The community is about growing together and connecting to joy and to the creative part of ourselves. So let me know how you do in Instagram Messenger. Please do not forget to DM me your outcomes, your success. I would love to read it and do it with you, because that's how it is. When we do it together, we're more strong and more powerful together. Yeah. Okay. Bye.